Okay, so I wanted to introduce people to some books that they might not know otherwise. I've been really impressed with lots of the videos I see and the really rich discussion around works of philosophy or fiction that deal with metaphysical ideas and or spiritual concepts or experience, and I've really enjoyed those, and I can't say that I have at the moment that much to contribute to the conversation, except thank you. But it did strike me that in my job, I'm an elementary school teacher. I've really been exposed to a lot of literature that I think most people don't see because it's called children's literature, and really the depth of the quality of the writing and the concepts are sometimes blow me away, and I often find myself reading a kid's book, and it really affects me and makes me think, and I really appreciate as a teacher being able to bring these things to students, because I think they're ready. I think we don't give kids credit for the kinds of ideas that they're ready to handle. So I thought I'd just make a series of videos kind of. So here's the first one, and I don't know why I chose this one, but I just think it's a really important book, and it is on a topic that is, well, I guess it's hard to say what topics are more important than others, but it's obviously it's an allegory for something, and the book cover, the blurb on the inside says, oh, I'll tell you the title first. So it's called The Rabbits, and it's by John Marsden, and it's illustrated by Shaun, one of my favorite illustrators, who's also a writer in his own right. Amazing books like The Arrival and Tales from Suburbia. So the blurb on the inside says, "The Rabbits offers a rich and immensely valuable perspective on the effect of man on his environment. Visually loaded and told with a passion for truth and understanding, The Rabbits aims to promote cultural awareness and a sense of caring for the natural world." Good stuff, especially for 7 and 8-year-olds. Gotta feed them all that goodness, and hopefully it'll stick. But it's interesting because I've used this book in classes about colonialism. Talking when we teach about Aboriginal cultures in Canada, and the meeting between the Europeans and the Native peoples. And this book really, for me, speaks to that, and or to the experience of any unfortunately, as many Aboriginal groups as I've ever been able to learn about, they've all seemed to have had similar, if not the same, experiences in terms of another culture coming in and basically the kind of at least cultural genocide. I mean, often that's combined with real genocide, but that occurs, and I don't think growing up I really appreciated what it must be like to grow up in a culture that has been so bombarded and kind of been under siege for so long. So anyway, that's all this is to say that called The Rabbits. I'm going to try to read some of it to you, and I don't know if this is going to work. Honestly, I don't know much about the copyright issues either, except I'm hoping that John Marsden and Shaun and the fine people at Simply Read Books, or Simply Read Books, hopefully it's not a Random House imprint. I can feel them knocking on my door right now. We'll take this in the spirit it's meant, which is to promote the book. I think it's an important book that everybody should read. At least borrow it from your library if you don't buy it. So, here we go. Enjoy. The Rabbits. The rabbits came many grandparents ago. At first, we didn't know what to think. They looked a bit like us. There weren't many of them. Some were friendly. But our old people warned us, "Be careful, they won't understand the right ways. They only know their own country." More rabbits came. They came by water. They didn't live in trees like we did. They made their own houses. We couldn't understand the way they talked. They brought new food, and they brought other animals. We liked some of the food, and we liked some of the animals, but some of the food made us sick, and some of the animals scared us. The rabbits spread across the country. No mountain could stop them, no desert, no river. Still more of them came. Sometimes we had fights. But there were too many rabbits. We lost the fights. They ate our grass. They chopped down our trees and scared away our friends and stole our children. Rabbits, rabbits, rabbits. Millions and millions of rabbits. Everywhere we look, there are rabbits. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, now there's this amazing video mockumentary from Australia called Barbecuaria. It's amazing. It basically flips everything on its head and reimagines Australia being discovered by Aboriginal people. I watched it in a class of mostly white people, and they had some really strong reactions to it. I was shocked. I mean, it was a class of people made up of people who had come to the class kind of committed to social justice and equity, and here they were basically being shown the truth. They just changed the roles. They flipped them around, you know, and white children being taken away from their parents and sent off to schools and stuff. Anyway, I was just shocked by how people, you know, when things are that close to home, how people who profess to be interested in healing the wounds of the past can, how hard that is to accept the truth. So, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.